Regal Movie Masters. Unlimited.
This is the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited podcast where we indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie that comes out at the local theaters. Your movie masters today are Justine.
Hi.
Brent.
Hello.
Dylan.
What's up?
And I am Colin. We got 5 movies on the docket today. We're gonna go. It is gonna go by so quickly. You're not even gonna know we were there. This is like a nice bicycle ride or something. You just blink and you're there. You got 5 fingers on your hand. We got 5 movies. We're looking at a Haunting in Venice, Camp Hideout, Retirement Plan, The Inventor, and Satanic Hispanics. That's what we got. Hey, we said we watch it all. Okay. As always, I should let you know we do have an email you can contact us at. It's moviemasters760@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, things of that nature, just want to say hi. Just say hi. Say anything you want. It's a free country. We have an email. Just let us know if you're cool with having us read it on the air or not. Moviemasters, plural, 760@gmail.com.
Spoilers?
You betcha.
Yes.
Dylan, what's on the docket?
All right. First up, we got A Haunting in Venice. It's a little murder mystery movie based in the post-World War II world, in Paris.
What?
I'm sorry.
Bro.
Venice, Italy.
There we go.
Venice, California.
No.
It follows the retired detective Hercule Poirot as he attends a seance on Halloween night. And you guys know there's a haunting and then chaos ensues.
This is I learned this is the third in a trilogy of sorts.
I did too.
Yeah. Kenneth Branagh, he plays Detective Poirot. They're all based on Agatha Christie stories. First we had Murder on the Orient Express from 2017, Death on the Nile, and Haunting in Venice. This one was originally called Halloween Party, which I think is a far funnier name for a movie. It'd be very ridiculous to give a movie that's this serious in tone.
Halloween bash.
Yeah, festivities. But yeah, it's Agatha Christie stuff. So this is like classic model whodunit kind of energy, right?
Yep.
Down to the murder. I read the Wikipedia about the original book. Very different. Apparently, originally was in London, or not London, but in England somewhere on like a little countryside. So putting it in Venice is a conscious choice. Yeah. I don't know if they just did it to keep the language.
I think so.
Did we see Death on the Nile last year?
No.
I did.
How was it?
Way worse than this.
Really? Yeah, I liked this movie. I'm gonna give you one word here. Boom, baby, here it is. Purposeful. I think everything they were doing in the movie had a reason for it being there, including having it in Venice. And I should mention Venice because we've seen Book Club 2 take place in Venice. We've seen Mission Impossible 7, Part 1.
6?
7. Dead Reckoning? I thought it was 7.
All right, Justine, name every single...
Glad you
Here
asked.
we go. Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3, 4, 5.
I feel like there's another Venice.
It checks out.
I thought Fast X was Venice, but that's Rome. But I think maybe there's a different Fast and Furious movie. Point being, a lot of times I think movies take place in Venice and you just get actors on board because they want to go to Venice. Yeah. I'm convinced that's now, after seeing so many of these movies, that's a reason why things happen.
Or a tax incentive.
Sure. Something is there. It doesn't really need to be in Venice. This movie really uses the ambiance of Venice. It's raining at night, so there's a flood, which is all the more reason people can't get out. And there's this eeriness in the air the whole time. It's smart in that it never really answers whether supernatural stuff is happening or not. It feels like there is, but there also rationally explains it. So it somewhat leaves it to the viewer as far as ambiguity goes. I thought that was a nice touch. And the way it's shot, there's a lot of fisheye lenses and extreme Dutch angles. I got big 90s energy off of this. Maybe the 5 years surrounding The Matrix, maybe Mimic or Matilda. can't think of any other movies that start with M, but like creepy 90s, eerie 90s, freaky 90s. Not full Tim Burton, but not completely disregarding that. And that, again, to go back to the purposeful statement, ties in with like, I don't know, leaving this sense of eeriness, spookiness in the air. Overall, I don't know. I did really enjoy it. I just thought it was a tremendous film. Maybe tremendous is overselling it. A very good, purposeful film. Good for the season.
Yeah.
Really splits the difference between the horror and the whodunit. Usually you got to go 60-40, 70-30. This is kind of a 50-50.
Is there normally horror in whodunit?
There's murder.
Yeah, that's like, there could be a murder in a lot of things.
I don't know.
There's not like the supernatural thing about it, though.
I can't think of another one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's why it's good, especially good for the season, because it's like, hey, get the old folks in because of the Agatha Christie factor.
They also needed it for the trilogy. It's really bad until now.
Yeah.
How is it in tone compared to the other ones? Because they're not supernatural, right?
They're not. I think the last one might even had Gal Gadot in it, and it was just kind of, it dragged on. Orient Express was really bad. Yeah, this one was good.
I remember the trailer for the last one, and it just seemed like a celebrity cameo roulette, where it's like, this guy's here and that guy's there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's that genre of movie called where it's just like, you know this guy? You know that guy? You heard of this guy? You seen this guy? There's a whole ass genre where it's just dependent on recognizing that celebrities exist.
Colin's nightmare.
It's
genre.
my dream. Famous people everywhere.
Popular
I look.
Poppins.
They never do anything in the movie. They just show up.
Yeah. Remember this guy?
They even had one of those like GoPro
Yeah.
shots of him running through like like you would see in like a ghost hunter show, actually.
Hey, speaking of the Dutch angles, did it feel like it was made for IMAX or something? It kind of bent.
No, I think it's just fisheye lens, bro.
Yeah.
Just like, look, it's like, again, I mean, I don't know why I'm harping on this 90s thing so much, but music video techniques, but like music videos in the 90s. Like,
a lot of asymmetrical shots too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, it was bent, but then also you'd have like the head in the lower third.
Yeah, that's why it's eerie. It gives you a sense of tension and spookiness in the air and the way they shoot it.
Particularly suspenseful, though.
Yeah, well,
You're kind of just waiting for him to do something.
yeah, because that's what it's like. I think when you set someone up as like a super guy, like he's a super detective. That was I think really good too. Because at first they're like, oh, it's a seance thing, and he's like, I'm gonna debunk this, and then he calls him out on some stuff. And so you're like, oh, so he is a smart guy. Okay, that gives credibility to everything he says after that. Pretty good technique. Just have him solve something real quick in the beginning, and then you say, oh, this guy solves stuff. All right.
Did you feel cheated? Like, when they're like, and then it was the neighbor that you didn't see that was dug through the ground.
I mean, no offense to this, Brent. I know this is like your pet genre or whatever, but this is why I hate these movies, because they're like, I think the dunce way to watch them is to like try to guess who it was.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like silly. You just go along for the ride and have fun, I think.
Let it unfold.
Yes. But and it's so absurd to the premise of like being able to guess who did it, because they keep introducing all this new information that you would never know as a viewer. It's not like 3-card Monty where you can like keep up with it with your eyes. It's
the whole
trickery.
idea is that they give you a reveal at the end. Yeah.
I thought that was satisfying. The reveal, it all kind of tied together there. I don't know.
I thought it was fine. Like, how can I explain this?
I'm ready. I'm waiting for you to find the
I
words.
want you to explain this to me. Can you explain this movie? I don't know what happened.
All right. Well,
So, like, he ate honey and it was, like, bad or something?
he was tripping balls
Yeah,
on
he was
flowers,
tripping.
dog.
He was tripping, huh? Edible?
No, the acid was poison. The flowers were making you trip balls.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it was fine. I like the setting, honestly. Whatever castle they found in Venice, if it's really a real castle in Venice, was really, really scary, bro. Honestly. I like the Halloween party. Just kids just fucking
That was cool.
being like messy as fuck.
Oh, yeah, and that shadow play stuff on the wall.
That was really cool.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
I
cool.
thought of you when I watched it. I was like, Colin will love this.
I did love it. Good call.
Yeah, I was just like, damn, this place is weird. And then like kids destroying stuff.
Yeah.
Did they knock over that chandelier?
Or was it the ghost?
Or was it the ghost? I kind of forgot.
They don't say. It just fell. And then he's like, it's heavy water because of all this rain, and it broke.
Yeah, no, that's how this is the trick. Every time there's something like ghostly happening, they're just like, no, there's a rational explanation for it. But then there's stuff that isn't, and it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
As an Agatha Christie movie, how would you compare it to See How They Run? Did you like this one better, or?
It's such a different tone. Because
Yeah,
like I
exactly.
said, I treated it as a horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was kind of pitched as a horror movie.
Yeah,
and I was
it was.
partially curious, like, how the hell are they going to put Tina Fey in a horror movie? And
Right,
she
right,
doesn't
right.
do a whole lot of
No.
stuff. And it was fun. And then it's like, oh, that's how they do it. They make it old timey, and then they make her play like old timey news lady or old timey author lady. I write mystery books, see? And it's like, okay, that's how you get Tina Fey in a horror movie.
Yeah.
And you'd make it also not a horror movie, but a whodunit, a split down the middle. And I thought See How They Run, in contrast, was more as a comedy, like
Yeah.
a farce, a larf, a lark. I'll say a larse. A farce and a lark. A
I want to
larse.
say I enjoyed See How They Run better.
Well, again, it's such different. I mean, I guess the other side of that would be I can't remember like being wowed by the shots or the cinematography or the setting or the
Sure.
ambiance of See How They Run. But that's not the movie they were trying to tell. It
Right.
was just, it was a lot faster paced. But you have to tell it fast paced to make it funny, and you have to tell this movie kind of be slow boiling to get the eerie, spooky ghost stuff in. So
And then, do you have a favorite movie that takes place in Venice? Like of all the movies that take place in Venice that you've seen?
Didn't you say wasn't it like Gleaming the Cube or something?
Book Club 2,
No, Gleaming the Cube, bro.
the skate movie.
Yeah,
What about that's invented? Oh,
See what he did to you?
yeah.
He got
bro,
you.
got you again. Like, how did I get you 3 times?
What was that? What's that movie we just saw? The Smart movie.
I wish I could remember. I never
What's got
remember.
her name? Oh, that's like an old timey movie. Isn't Katherine Hepburn's in
that's
it, right?
Beast Wars.
Oh yeah, Rise of Beasts.
Yeah,
No, the one Fast and Furious movie I can't remember that takes place in Venice is. Come on, you got this, Bullet.
that'd be so awesome. Was that Smart movie? Rise of Beast.
Summertime.
Summertime with Katherine Hepburn.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a really nice old timey movie. If you want to take a look at old timey Venice. And really, just a pivot here, Summertime is a great example of a vacation movie.
Yeah.
They hauled Katherine Hepburn's ass out to Venice to shoot, and she did a great time. And you get to hang out in Venice in the 50s. That's a good time. That was a movie that really made me appreciate, like, oh, if something is shot in a different place, you can really feel like you get to take a trip to that place. Which is a very simple concept, but that was the movie that drove it home for me.
Dylan, Don't Look Now or Gleaming the Cube?
What's Don't Look Now?
It's the one we talk about every now and then. 1973. Robert Redford, Vanessa Redgrave, with the little guy in the cave.
I talk about this movie.
I don't think
You
I've
and I
ever
have talked
I don't
about
think
it.
I've ever seen the movie.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know this movie. You
I
love
don't
this
know what
movie.
you're talking.
This is one of your other hoes.
No, it's Dylan. We've talked about it twice.
73.
1973.
Oh, god damn it.
What's up?
Okay, what's the question?
Don't Look Now or Gleaming the Cube for Venice movies.
Two different, because Don't Look Now takes place in the 70s, and Gleaming the Cube takes place in
80s.
the 80s. And if I know myself well, I like 80s stuff a little bit more.
Okay,
So I got to go Gleaming the Cube
nice.
because of the fits alone.
So, top Venice movie, Gleaming the Cube.
Yeah, I would say. Damn, Don't Look Now. I keep forgetting that movie exists.
You'll forget it in 6 months when I bring it up again.
Oh, yeah. I know. I only remember. I keep thinking it's called like Annie or something.
Annie,
Yeah. Like whatever the daughter's name is.
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
I don't know this movie.
Yeah,
Oh, you guys would love it. You two would love it.
that does sound good.
What's the it is a whole different fucking story. What's the Brooke Shields movie where she's like a little kid? That's the movie I think that title's called.
Oh,
Sweet Alice, or
Alice,
something.
Sweet Alice. Yeah.
That's what I think that movie is called.
Doesn't Alice, Sweet Alice mostly take place in like an attic?
Well, part of it.
Yeah, no, but I think Don't Look Now is Alice, Sweet Alice.
Just 'cause.
Just the name
Okay.
alone.
The lore on that movie is insane. I just recently discovered that there is a pro wrestler. I forget his name, but he's in the movie briefly. But it's been recently discovered that he's a CIA asset in real life.
In Alice, Sweet Alice?
Yeah, one of the actors.
Okay. There we go. Little fun factoid. So, Haunting in Venice. Are we going to hold hands and have a seance and talk to these ghosts? Or is this one for the Ghostbusters to zap them all away. I'll have a seance. Yeah, a little bit of substance, a little bit of class. Touch of class for your horror movie season. Good job, Haunting in Venice, my opinion.
Yeah, always down for a seance. This is a good one. It really has a good feel to it. It does seem very curated or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think you said deliberate. Did you say
Purposeful.
deliberate? Okay, well, deliberate. Same. But yeah, like the costuming, the set design, the creepy kid costumes, which I love when it's just
Yeah.
kind of like a piece of paper.
Old-timey creepy kids?
Yeah, it's the best. I would say definitely watch it. It's a vibe.
It is certainly a vibe. That's a good point.
I'll join the seance. Like I said, this is definitely the best one of the 3 from the series. Shout out to Ken Branagh for also directing it. I liked it.
Yeah, I'll hold hands and do the seance and do the whole thing and get scared. Were they ever scared? The kid gets scared.
That one lady, the church lady, was.
The nun?
Yeah, she was freaked out.
A lot of paranoia.
Oh, she's scared. She's scared. Ha! They're all pointing at her. That was like most of the movie. the Belgian detective guy. Ha ha ha! You are so scared, you're going to
And
cry.
then she cried.
This silly mustache.
What was his name? Beauregard Pinot Noir? Something like that?
Hercule
Poirot.
Poirot. God damn it. So close. There's something about Greek names in that. I'm sure you could break it down. There's like everyone had a silly Greek name that I think
didn't
corresponded
notice.
to something. But I don't know enough about either mythology nor did I pay attention that much to the movie
Pay
to
attention.
keep track of everything. But I'm dimes to donuts says there's some layer there. Hercule. How many tasks did Hercules have in real life? In the
420.
12? I bet you there was that many people.
The Dirty Dozen. That's what they call it.
The movie's about
Hercule
Hercules.
Poirot is in the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
I'm just glad Michelle Yeoh was in something again.
Was something where she wasn't a transformer?
Yeah. Like every time she kind of
did
pulls
Transformer.
herself back up a little bit more
Yeah,
and
yeah,
more
yeah. He's
from the Transformer hole.
Dust the dirt off her shoulder. Tell us about Camp Hideout, Dylan.
As Michelle Yeoh,
Starring Michelle Yeoh in
she's a
Camp Hideout.
transformer.
She is a transformer now.
Maximals maximize. So that's the movie quote of the year. I don't give a shit what anyone said. Specifically,
Unquote dash.
Michelle Yeoh, Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh. Quote,
So crazy.
Maximals maximize. I would fucking kill for a shirt of just Michelle Yeoh's face from the red carpet. Maximals maximize.
You know, I would like it if it's like half of her transformer and then half her face is her regular face. I would buy that shirt.
She plays like an eagle or some shit. That movie rocks.
She had to make pain noises for that movie, if you think about it.
Optimus Primal, we're needed. The Allspark is failing us. It was a stupid name for it. It wasn't an Allspark. What did they call
No,
it?
Transwarp key.
Yeah,
I hate that you remember that.
That poor woman.
on the top of your
That
head.
poor woman.
Ouch.
Gun at her head off camera. Anyways, tell us about also good movie.
All right, we got Camp Hideout. It's a movie about a kid named Noah who steals a handheld game console. Honestly, it just looks like a PSP that
Unbranded.
Nintendo Switch.
they
It's definitely a
painted to
Switch,
look
yeah.
like a Nintendo Switch from some quote-unquote thugs. And in the midst of it, of being chased of the thugs, was able to hide out in a summer camp. Thus, why the movie's called Camp Hideout. While he's there trying to fit in, the thugs are tracking him down, and that's where the true chaos ensues.
Why were we looking forward to this movie, Dylan?
The poster.
Which, if you can catch a glimpse of it, it gives this like kind of Jack Davis energy to it, kind of like Woody Allen's Bananas poster, or like Animal House, or Rock and Roll High School.
Yeah,
like-
the meatballs. That's what I was thinking it was. I thought it was a meatballs like rip.
yeah, because it's like drawing. It's
Yeah.
old timey, and then you look really small in the corner. It says rated G. I'm like, wow, G.
PG.
Which I did
No.
not know until
No,
I,
it's PG,
It's
right?
PG. I think
Yeah,
it's G.
I looked at it, PG.
PG.
Yeah.
On the poster, I swore it said G.
As I was walking out of the movie,
You
it
looked
said
at the
PG.
poster?
Yeah.
you stared at that poster.
Yeah.
It's
To figure out where
So
I went
it
wrong.
looks like it's like drawn like cartoony
Yeah,
style.
and I have a revised theory on it after having seen
Let's
the film.
go. Give it.
Because basically, when you watch it, going into the film, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a like a throwback kind of camp movie.
Nope.
And because it's drawn like that. But now that I look at it, I'm like, oh, did they just go to like a straight up carnival caricature
Yeah.
artist? It does work. It's a great looking poster.
Yeah.
Stands out and everything. Mission accomplished. But tonal wise, Dylan, you said that this reminded you of like a Disney movie, like a Disney Channel movie.
Disney Plus, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Not,
pretty sure
not
it's-
Disney Plus, like
no, like a 2000s Disney, like 2010s movie.
yeah.
Nickelodeon or what's it called?
Oh, yeah, I was
Disney.
thinking Nick for sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Salute Your Shorts.
Right. Christopher Lloyd plays the one of the main owner
Camp,
of the camp
yeah.
guy, and who's our favorite counselor,
Oh, Corbin Blue from High School Musical.
doing great for himself in this film. Favorite line of the movie: "You stole a magical game console from your gangster friends." It's not magical. It has like hackers. It has hacker stuff on it. The kid takes his game console and he's hiding out at camp from these gangsters because he took it thinking it was his.
There's a mix-up.
There's a mix-up.
Gaming consoles for some reason.
Unnamed, unbranded gaming consoles.
It's not a Nintendo Switch.
And so now he's hiding at the camp and he has all this hacker stuff on his gaming console, and the gangsters are coming to get him. And that's it's Home Alone stuff because eventually they get to them and they have to like make all the poles greasy and
Try to murder them.
marbles on the ground and shit, and like just straight up do insane tears of violence towards these gangster guys, and that just keeps going.
Yeah, but they're like two bumbling idiot type gangsters.
Yeah, one's really tall, one's real short.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. And when I saw the poster for this, I thought it was gonna be like a 70s, like
Yep.
I don't know, raunchy comedy or
Yeah,
something like
there's
that.
a lot of like throwbacks to those styles of comedy that come out, so it's not unfathomable to think that you're dealing with like Welcome to Camp Stoner Lot.
Yeah.
We all smoke weed and look at titties.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. And then when we were sat down and watching it for like 3 minutes, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Is this in the theater right now?
Yeah, I thought we walked into the wrong movie. Like, I straight up was like, oh, this is not the theater. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait, no, they're in camp. All right.
So
See
was
where
it
this
was
is
it the,
going.
was it the 3 minute mark where the main character says, "You probably wondered how I got here," or was it when he turned to the camera and started speaking directly to it?
He turns to the camera and speaks to the audience like 40 minutes into the movie. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
are you talking to us?
Very tonal shift. I mean, there's obviously like, Malcolm in the middle, like the conceit of the show is like, hey guys, I'm going to talk to you sometimes.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's like your offices and whatnot, or it's like, can you believe this guy? A goofy face.
But he does it like 3 times and it's arbitrary when he's going to
It
do
just
it.
seems like he's got schizophrenia. But I'm not going to let anyone disrespect my man Christopher Lloyd on this one. That boy is delivering. He is like going off in this movie. Full out of his mind, like, you kids having a food fight. One of the weakest food fights I've ever seen in my
Oh,
life,
the
by the way.
saddest.
Oh,
Yeah. You think after like 2,023 years of Earth, we finally understand how to shoot a food fight. It's almost as if they needed to reuse some of that food. And we're like, hey, we gotta have to do this shoot like maybe 5 more times. So don't throw everything all at once.
Yeah.
what was the grand poobah of Disney Channel movie food fights?
Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
There we go.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's the only one you've shown me. So I don't know what like bangers you're hiding
That's a good one.
in your mind.
I don't know. There's probably one in High School Musical that I don't remember.
Anyways.
They dance in the cafeteria. I know that much.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's not having it when they do the food fight, and he's just like, he's working. He's like working. He's working for his money, and I'd love to see a goddamn legend, just still not half-assing it. This is the man you knew from Roger Rabbit. He was in Roger Rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So put some fucking respect on his name.
Did you guys catch the production studio name?
There's like a handful of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the main one that would give you the tip as to
The ending.
yeah. It's called Higher Studios, and
Oh,
their
okay.
logo is a dove where the
Yeah,
wings
yeah.
are made out of film. So that would have given you a hint early on when you.
Yeah, this is like a 10% Jesus movie.
Yeah, like way at the end. They're like, And
Well, there's a real quick one. It's like a blink and you miss it
Yeah,
moment
but-
when they're looking for the kid because the kid runs away. They're like, no, we got to find him. And there's like one shot at like, looking here, looking there, praying, looking over there, looking over there. And you're like, prayer. Oh.
Yeah, and there's the other one is when they sneak into Christopher Lloyd's house. And there's a bunch of crosses in it.
And
And the
But
bus.
he's like a
the bus
creep.
itself.
I
yeah,
didn't
Bus
notice
says
the
something about faith. And
Yeah.
when Corbin Bleu of High School Musical fame is talking to the kid, he's like, look at this place. It's beautiful. It's like it was made by, the hand of a designer of some sort. Anyways, food
So funny.
scallion today. And then not to spoil this because I assume everyone's has already seen this movie. But at the very end, the kid's like wandering around and figuring out what to do after he bumbles the two bungling guys and runs into Corbin Bleu at the church and starts talking to him. He's like, yeah, man, you should come here. It's like really cool. And movie ends. So I think they just needed like a little bit of Jesus money to get this off the ground.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we can make this happen. Like this is the compromise to get this movie up and running. So we can't afford such star power as Christopher Lloyd and
Corbin Bleu.
without, getting a little bit of that God money in the mix. So it's not total. I mean, whatever. The Jesus element is not in the top 5 of problems of this goddamn movie, but it's also, I don't know, for kids or something.
Yeah, it just seems super tacked on. So whatever.
Yeah. And again, just a really weird one to have in theaters. We watched it at 9:30 showing on a weekday, walking out of Haunting in Venice and right into this. So it's like, this is going to shock you, viewers, listeners, etc. There was no one else in the theater. So.
And it sucks when the cleaners came in and were like fucking sad that there was people in the theater.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, we set this up specifically to air at 9:30 so no one could be in here so we could clean up and get out earlier. Like, nah, sorry. 3 idiots are watching this fucking movie.
Screaming.
3 whole ass adults.
I tried it today at 1:40 and 5 people came in directly from church. You could tell.
Okay.
They sat down. I was like, oh no, did I do this again?
Yeah.
And then
It does creep up on you. Again, we've emphasized we were expecting a very different movie. So we're gonna say Camp Hideout. Are you good? Are we signing up for camp or are we gonna stay home this summer
And play video games.
and play video games on a magical console? I have no problem staying home on this one. It's not a good movie, but it's whatever. It's not a good movie in the theaters. I think it's a fine movie if it's playing on, a children's channel, like in the middle of the day, or like on some streaming service that kids watch or something, or it's a Darman production or something. But it's pretty dang silly to see this in the theater. Yeah. My opinion.
Yeah, it's silly to see. It's silly to watch, period. I was trying to think that I guess kids kind of watch stuff like this, but it doesn't teach you anything.
No, it teaches you that kids rule.
And faith is going to get you through.
There's a little bit
times.
of faith, but mostly it's just turn yourself, be honest as a person.
Yeah, don't steal.
Rely on friends. He came in
there
as a
we go.
loner, and then he gained friends along the way, and he accepted people and all that.
don't
Okay.
covet your neighbor's wife.
There you go. If you had sheep, divide them up among people. Don't waste food.
Don't waste food.
Don't
Yeah,
waste
don't
food, or
waste
you
food.
That was one of the funniest things. Like they show you that they were getting their food going through the cafeteria line, and they already are giving them 2 tablespoons of mashed potatoes. And I guess it's because they knew they were going to be throwing it around, but it just looks like they're starving these kids.
Yeah, stay home. This was camp walkout for me. The first movie I walked out on all year.
I go to camp. I don't know if Christopher Lloyd's there and Corbin Bleu's there. It's gonna be a good time, and 5 other girls for some reason. Women, not girls, women. Women counselors.
There's girls too, but there are women counselors.
He sings to you.
Yeah.
Corbin Bleu.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sings right at you, looking right in your face, in your eyes.
Oh yeah, the music was dog shit in this. It's another reason, not to throw shade, but that is another way you could tell it's a Jesus movie is that the music fucking
Well,
sucks.
he was singing the song, and then it cuts to them talking while he's singing. So it's not you would have to be paying attention to what he was saying for it to be wow, what the fuck.
Oh yeah, there was like elevator music throughout the whole thing, right?
Or it was like
There's either nothing or just barely.
it sounded like church rock, but then they took the vocals out, so it's just like an acoustic guitar and kind of like pounding stuff. God music changed. What's that Coldplay song where it's like dun 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 dun?
Scientist?
Sure. Once that song came out, like Jesus music across the world was like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck did these guys just do? Holy shit. And then so you ever hear that in a movie? It's like, oh, this is Jesus music, isn't it? It sounds all dun 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 dun.
Is that Scientist? Justine,
No,
you're the
it's not.
fan.
No.
What's
That's
it
that
called?
song where it's like,
It's hard to say because then like, yeah, one thing and the stupid time, and I was over on the thing over there. And Jesus is
Is
cool.
it just called Clocks?
yeah.
There you go.
Great. Sounds just like it.
Time is going. And
Yeah, it's just called.
Chris Martin, when did you get here?
Are you a fan? I heard someone singing my tune, so I showed up. That's how I do.
Man.
Anyways, that's what do we got? Oh shit, the retirement plan.
Oh.
I don't know. Everyone listening, I'm sorry I failed you. I did not watch this one. I wanted to. Plans changed. Also, was not aware that this movie was out till Friday.
Because it wasn't. They didn't drop it Thursday. They saved it for Friday for no reason.
Yeah. Well, the retirement plan. So I'm gonna have to guess here. I'm just guessing. I don't know what this movie's about, but I'm guessing someone named Ashley and her daughter turned to Matt, her estranged beach bum father, I think, and to help escape a ruthless crime boss. And then I'm gonna Colin, you're gonna have to explain the rest of this chaos that ensues because I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
This girl gets in trouble. Their retirement plan was that they were going to steal this hard drive. They keep calling it. It's a thumb drive, and the lady gives it to her kid, and her kid goes to the Cayman Islands where the beach bum father in question, Dylan, is played by one Nicolas Cage, who's well, on a Cage scale out of 10, how cagey are we getting on this one? How do you rate it?
4.
4? No, you're fucking tripping. I'm not saying the movie itself in terms of quality. I'm talking about how Nicolas Cage
the
is in it.
performance?
Yeah.
How does he get? 6.5.
I
6.5, 7.
I feel like an 8. He was really Nicolas Caging in this. He was caging hard.
I will give you a 7.
Or I got the sense that Nicolas Cage was just doing fucking whatever movies for a while. Like, what was that weird End of the World one? That was like only
Knowing?
on Netflix. No. That was like still too highbrow. There was like a dumber one. Bro will do anything for a while. And then it seemed like, well, maybe tides are changing and he's like kind of being more picky about his roles he's doing.
I feel like he's always got 2 to 5 things in the hopper at all times.
Yeah, this is one of those like, oh, he's doing anything kind of movies. Yeah. This definitely falls under the old guy's rule header of cinema. Very action. Definitely has a post Guy Ritchie dash with some other like just very outdated, not 80s action, but like 2000s-ish kind of action. And so the kid hangs out with Nicolas Cage and the gangsters are going after Nicolas Cage, but bad call because he is ex-assassin for the government. And so he's just murking all these guys that go after him. And his daughter, he's been estranged. She's connecting with her again. That's cool because now she's there. The gangsters keep coming after him. He keeps killing them in really boring, uninteresting ways, throwing them out of windows and such. And there's also the government is involved. He's talking to his old liaisons over there, and he's like, "Hey, I got this thumb drive. If there's an inside agent in the government, it's a lot of moving parts. I don't know. It's watchable.
Imagine watching this back to back with Camp Hideout, where it's just about devices, like electronic devices.
Yeah, and being gangsters following you to get your electronic device.
That was a rough one. Bad day at the movies.
There is a little bit of production value in it. I didn't get the sense that it was like so low budget. I feel like I would put this above, in recent times movies we've watched, above the Liam Neeson movie Retribution, what's it called? Yeah. Above that, below Equalizer 3.
Way below.
Nicolas Cage is still Nicolas Caging. I can't like really hate too hard on any movie he's in really, because he is still fun to watch. But yeah, this is like mid-afternoon filler on some action station where it's just like, just play The Rock. Just watch The Rock. Just watch The Rock. The Rock is fine. We don't need we don't need to be doing this now.
I think it's fun.
You had fun?
I read too that the director was just kind of musing. What would it be like if John Wick, he's in his 70s now and he's just kind of a beach bum? I wonder if he'd still be able to like mess people up, and then made this movie.
Just John Wick fan fiction?
Yeah.
With Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, and then he was like, he wrote it and he was like, oh, this is so Nicolas Cage. And Nicolas Cage thought it was funny. And then was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I guess that he ended up, you know, like he's very like improvisational.
Right.
And so it went well with this beach bum, you know, guy presenting as being kind of scatterbrained and whatever.
Yeah.
So it worked well. And it was really cool because the main thing that they were talking about was like how hard it was to shoot on the island because they're in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
They were saying like logistically it was hard because it was COVID.
Right.
And so there was a quarantine for anyone or anything that came onto the island. And it's really hard also especially because of the, I don't know, criminal element using the Cayman Islands for that sort of thing, that they had to ship in like the guns and stuff to shoot the movie.
Yeah,
and there was like all this red tape, you know, around getting all that stuff in. And then they said also there wasn't the same kind of equipment that you would have, like, you know, if you shoot in Atlanta or something, where you just have like, I don't know, the rigs that you have to like move cameras around and whatnot, that they didn't have that sort of stuff there. So they had to get kind of creative. You know, that's really cool. He also said it was like 90 degrees the whole time and Ron Perlman was like dying. Oh yeah, Ron Perlman's in it.
Yeah, he plays like a silly gangster guy with a heart of gold.
Yeah, smart guy.
Yeah, deceptively intelligent with a heart of gold.
I guess, well, because of what I read on the credits, that it's the little girl's first movie.
Okay.
And she is in it a lot. She did a good job.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of screen time for it being your first thing. I mean, for not being like a Babysitter's Club movie or something like that.
Right.
Like a movie with adults.
You know, I will say that I felt like they were just genuinely trying to entertain. You know, I don't think they were like trying to be something they weren't or have a big message or something. It's just like supposed to be a fun action movie. I do think it's kind of pitched towards an older audience, an older, specifically male audience. But
that would involve marketing it.
Yeah, I don't know. They had fun making the movie, and now it's out there.
They just released it.
It's here. It's on.
I mean, that's what a lot of Nicolas Cage movies are like.
Yeah,
he's just like in them, and then you're like,
right.
wait, how many movies did he do last year?
Yeah,
it was a lot.
So retirement plan. Are we breaking out the 401k for this one, or are we going to just take a little nap at the home? We're retired. I'm napping on this one. It was not bad by any means. Again, better than some stuff we've seen, and it does feel all like an appetizer to like the Avengers of this kind of movie, which is Expendables 4, which comes out next week. But yeah, it wasn't exactly engaging in a big bad way or anything, but not bad.
I'm going to the Cayman Islands
on
my retirement. I thought it was totally fine.
I think if Ron Perlman can't handle the heat in the Cayman Islands, you can't handle the heat of the Cayman Islands.
Well, he was in a suit.
Oh.
And he had to do like fight scenes.
Fair enough.
And he's like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was totally fun. And Nick Cage is Nick Cage. I like these movies when people are like good at fighting. I thought the little girl was good. I like her relationship with the Ron Perlman character. I think that was kind of cool. I like Ghostbuster man in it, and he was a cool guy.
Oh yeah, Ernie Hudson. Jesus
Ernie
Christ!
Hudson.
There's some legends on screen. You're kind of swaying me a little in that direction. Okay.
Yeah, it was clever. I liked it. I hate that guy that plays the main bad guy. Just
what do you hate him? What do you hate him from?
A preacher, and he's always the same guy in everything he's in. It's just a snivelly little mean person, and so it's perfect for that role where you just hate him.
You know, it's funny. I'm talking about like, oh, this is like for old guys that want to see other old guys on screen. But I'm old guys. Like I don't like seeing all of those people on screen. So they are keeping me in mind. I'm not like trying to pretend like I'm in some completely separate demographic.
It's simple. It's good. It's exactly what you want it to be. You didn't even mention the name title or the name. What are they?
A title card, I guess. Every time they introduce a character, it's like in Street Fighter 2 where it's like, whoosh, this person's name.
Yeah.
And it is so jarring and you never get used to it.
Nope.
And it comes up so often in the movie. It is hard to believe that they're taking the movie seriously and doing that.
Yeah, I think it's a joke. It must be because it's really funny.
Personally, I'd opt for the nap. You can watch bad movies when you're dead.
Oh, Dylan didn't see it.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty good. Nicolas Cage kills it like always. Ashley Greene, great actress. She's really good in it. Ron Perlman, amazing as always. You know, if you know Ron Perlman, you know him as Hellboy or the one guy, the main boss guy from Sons of Anarchy. And if you like him in those two roles, which he's only been in, you're gonna like this one.
Would you say it's like a combination of those two roles in this movie?
Hellboy and
Yeah. And,
Jax's stepdad.
yeah.
Yes.
Good.
What about the Inventor, Dylan?
What about it?
Well, the people want to know.
Well, since you asked, another movie I did not watch. I'm sorry. The Inventor. You know, it's like about the curious Leonardo da Vinci. You know, he leaves Italy to join the French court, where he can experiment freely, I suppose, and he invents like incredible machines and study the human body. He is joined on his adventure by the audacious French princess.
Say Princess Marguerite. How about that?
Marguerite.
Marguerite.
Yeah, Marguerite. Okay. That's it. That's all I got. And
Okay.
then some chaos ensues. You got to tell me more about this one, man.
Well, I'll tell you some about it. It's mixed media animation, so there's chunks of it that are like stop motion and chunks of it that are hand drawn. Pretty much anytime you're in Da Vinci's mind or using, I think anytime they wanted to save money on having some kind of fantastical stuff on screen, it switched to 2D animation. But it was a pretty smooth transition, and I love the look of the 2D animation. It reminds me of that Netflix show Hilda, very calm and understated. And I think that maybe is the words I'd use to describe the film.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Very round.
You know what you know the Red Bull commercials where they get rings?
Yeah.
It's very, I don't know, there's
But it's
something.
not all sketchy.
Yeah. Basically, immediately in watching this, I was like, oh, I think this is my favorite cartoon of the year so far. I just love calm cartoons. Like The Point, that old movie from the 70s with Nilsson doing the music for it. And you don't really see that a lot because they're for kids. So it's kind of like, hey, everyone. I was watching this, I was like, oh, this is genuinely a cartoon for kids and adults. And usually when they say, oh, this is for kids, but like adults will like it, that means there's 2 sex jokes in it and like the Wu-Tang Clan song or something. It's so juvenile when they try to make movies for adults or like put some like adult stuff in there. This is like historical, and I hesitate to say fiction, but I don't know if it's a straight biography either. It's educational in a way that like
sort of.
you could drag in my day, you would drag the TV into class and, show kids because it shows Da Vinci in Italy under the Pope, who's voiced by
Matt Berry.
from,
What We Do in Shadows.
and he's always,
wow.
he has the best voice.
He has the best voice.
He has the best voice. So he's playing the Pope, and so he's all, Da Vinci, you should not be doing this in the church. Because Da Vinci, like, he's, I guess in real life, he's like a very talented person, right? He could do a little bit of everything. A Renaissance man, if you will. So, they're like, dude, just paint pictures of God, please. And he's like, I want to chop up bodies. They're like, dude, you can't chop up bodies. Like, I'm trying to find the soul. They're like, that's even worse. Like,
Don't tell me that.
That's even worse.
And I think in the movie, he's like, I kind of consider myself like an anatomist, first and foremost. Like, I want to know how this machine works. Yes, I can make wind-up toys and goofy inventions and, wings and stuff, but I didn't want to know what the fuck is going on with these humans. So he's stealing corpses left and right in this movie and like chopping people up kind of unsuspectingly. And that's eventually why he goes to France, is because he can get out from under the Pope and kind of do his own thing there. And watching this also made the light bulb in my head go off of like, oh, this is how you do fucking biographies. Because, the clunkiness of the biography, which is like, oh, hey, Einstein. Hi, Oppenheimer. I hear you're doing great things with the atomic bomb. Oh, that's just, that kind of stuff. Hey, Beatles. Hi, Elvis. crazy that we're meeting here at, my studio in Memphis. That kind of clunkiness that comes with every biography. With a cartoon, it's perfect because it's like, it's animated. You're not holding it to the standards of realism. So thus you can kind of get very weird and like, now we're here. Here's like a montage of us traveling through the mountains. Here's a song, and that's going to like keep us moving along. It's such a brilliant way to do these biographies and do them straight, like include a lot of boring facts and weird stuff, in this case about his relationship with Princess Marguerite, who's voiced by Daisy Ridley, who they really want you to know. She has a really small part in the movie, but they broadcast her name so big in it. But I kind of was immediately smitten with the movie. The music sucks. It's bad music.
Yeah, it's bad.
How so?
It's just not fun. Again, my gold standard is The Point, and like Nilsson was, just a genius, period. But he did a great job of kind of distilling like Beatles pop into this sort of singer-songwriter era, or even like Robin Hood. It's one like the Disney cartoon that's like one of my favorite cartoons, and it has that folksy rural thing, and there's like no one that can do that now. The music was kind of just I don't know, just neither here nor there.
It very much felt to me like they just had lines, and then they were like, we should probably put music in this because it's animated, right?
Sure.
And they just kind of put music around the lines, so they're not like cleverly written. They don't seem like they were written to be presented as a song. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah. But while that's happening, there's really nice visuals on screen, so it's not like a total waste of time. But I'm thinking both those movies I mentioned, they were like kind of part of a zeitgeist, like a time and a place, and they represented the music that was happening then. It's not like this movie would be improved with like Latin trap music, or God, even worse, like a Father John Misty or some bullshit like that. Like we rural and folksy has gotten really grim lately. So I don't know if I want someone like that doing that kind of music in it, but I don't know. It was just, I guess just not very interesting, but it was calm, it was mellow. That's the other thing. It's like when you have this very quiet, like, I'd like to invent this. Oh, you'd like to invent that, would you? Yes, I think it would be delightful. When you have like that kind of tone to it, you don't need like, bah, 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 this is the big song, bah, bah. Like you kind of need just quiet, whatever, coffee shop music in the background. It's fine. I love the tone, and you don't ever get to see this kind of stuff anymore. The director of the movie, he wrote for Ratatouille. I think that was his big claim to fame. But have you ever looked up the writers for The Lion King? Or there's literally over 20 people credited.
As writing?
Writing. And he had a part in The Lion King and Hunchback of Notre Dame. So he's like, from that world. And this just felt like this had to be like a passion project of sorts, because it's so much more mellow and understated than that, but really beautiful, really amazing to see. Pinocchio from last year I had a similar experience watching that. This isn't nearly as visceral. I don't think it has, it's not as like pointed as Pinocchio was. I don't think was really taking aim at a lot of things, but there's this really nice moment in the middle, because this whole thing is he's trying to find the soul, right? And he's like, oh, the soul isn't something you have. It's something you do. It's something you share with other people. And he's like, oh, that's my invention. So I just got to invent stuff and give it to people. And I think he sees the Daisy Ridley character talking, just basically sharing knowledge with her sisters, her siblings, her younger kids. And he's like, oh, this is how it continues. And this is, boom, that's the soul. It's not in all these corpses that I keep hacking up, which is very funny, by the way.
The movie is really funny, weirdly.
Yes.
Like, it's really subtle stuff. I like the French king, a lot.
The silly guy,
silly
jumping around, and all the character design is good. There's it does things that a cartoon should do.
Yes.
Just like be silly and bouncy and boingy.
Like, here's the Pope. He's huge. Here's his right-hand man. I don't know who he is, but he's like tiny.
Yeah,
like
he
sits on like a giant, I don't know, like a huge high chair, because he's super tiny.
Yeah, it's like aggressively British in tone and humor. Humor with a U, by the way. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this movie. I liked it a lot. Needless to say, The Inventor. The Inventor, is it a masterpiece? or as patrons, are we going to ask for our money back? I'm calling this a masterpiece. It's my favorite cartoon this year, Ninja Turtles was more fun.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was more expensive looking. Super Mario Brothers was more colorful. There's fun movies that come out, but this is like, oh, this is for me. Which means it's for no one. But it really moved me. I think it's a great film. I loved it quite a bit.
Wow.
It is very boring though.
It's a little boring, but it's, that's the whole feeling of the movie. It's super calm. It's very muted, like in every way. The comedy is not crazy. The music's not great. It's not particularly colorful or anything, but it does weave in like the historical stuff, which I think is cool. And just Da Vinci in general is a really interesting person to learn things about. And, there's like the Mona Lisa.
Oh, right.
And like
right.
all his like sketchbooks and stuff.
Yeah, remember this? Greatest hits reels going off.
Yeah, they just
constantly.
show you like stuff you know.
Boom, I did that. Boom, I did that. Da
Who
Vinci,
put this together? Me. That's
I am
who.
the one.
And so it's cool, to see that stuff sort of embedded in the animated stuff.
Yeah.
It's all drawn, and then you see the Mona Lisa.
Right.
It's kind of clever how that's done. Yeah.
What did you think of Florence Pugh's topless scene in this? Was that necessary? It was a little forced, right? Am I crazy for saying
but
that?
I guess.
I don't mean to be a prude, but when she's like, Da Vinci, you know the Sanskrit? He's like, yes. That would be cool if in that Oppenheimer movie, after he said the death thing, she's just like, oh, wow. That's so cool.
You actually can read that?
Dude.
Bro.
Why doesn't Florence Pugh ever say, oh, wow?
Oh, snap.
That would have made the movie so much better. Speaking of better movies.
Oh, I messed up.
Yeah, you did.
All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
Dylan, what do you got for Satanic Hispanics?
Oh, I just said Brent can explain this.
Yeah. So sometimes in the app you'll see select movies that say 2D, no passes, no savers. That means you're going to be paying full retail for that one. And I've got this problem where anytime I see something that is intentionally made or marketed as off the beaten path or maybe a little weird, I get optimistic. I get hope. I'll still buy a record based on how the cover looks. This one had a bad cover. And I went anyway. I paid $12.50, which is half the amount you would pay for an entire month of unlimited movies.
I didn't know it was one of those special ones.
Oh, it was a special movie.
Yeah,
all
and
right.
I guess we'll double the reason why none of us went.
Yeah.
I went to a movie theater we don't normally go to. This is what I call the teched out Regal, which once prevented Justine and Dylan from being allowed to enter.
Don't forget, the tagline of the show is indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie at the local theater. This is a little, so we went the extra mile for this one. You went out of your way.
Probably an actual extra mile, I would say. When it comes down to it.
It's not that far away. I don't want to paint this out to be like a
I mean, if
sojourn.
you do like distance from my house.
Twice as far.
Sometimes we'll make some extra arrangements, but.
So this one I would say like versus my drive to the normal theater, this one was an extra mile. And it was bleak because it's just like, this is the most teched out Regal possible. Like now they have LED screens when you walk in that are like previewing A Haunting in Venice. And I'm like getting hyped on that. I'm like, oh my God, this is cinema. I'm ready. So
yeah,
like,
they got like the posters are like, they move and shit,
they
right?
move. Yeah, dude, it's I mean, it's probably not the right word, but it's kind of beautiful. Like when you walk in there, you're like, wow. This is very 2023.
Our shit's gully. Like the fold down chairs and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's a theater.
This has like Star Trek seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just like, still smells like fresh leather, and it's just kind of like, are these brand new? What the fuck is going on? I'm in a giant cavernous auditorium all by myself.
Not a soul joined you for this movie.
Nobody wanted to see this movie. And I quickly discovered why.
Yeah.
And started playing. It was a loose anthology. That's another thing, is like, I love that movie Trick or Treat so much that I was like, oh, Halloween anthology, I'm in. I don't know, just briefly, it's a time traveler that tries to put all the shorter installments together.
Yeah, is Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite He's in the movie, right?
Couldn't fucking tell you. Oh yeah, it's him. It's him.
And he's like the crypt keeper of this. He
Yeah,
introduces the
but like
stories.
he's talking to these two cops, and even the cops like they're doing like meta commentary on what the audience would be feeling. So the point where I walked out is where one of the cops goes, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" Like that, and I go, "Yeah, got to be kidding me. I'm out." You know, I was just like, I can't do this because it's so punishing. Like it's like it's a bad story. It's all loosely interconnected, and the cops are annoyed with the storytelling, and the cops are you.
different directors doing each segment, right?
I mean, ostensibly, but it didn't. It was all the same cameras, and
okay, they don't look different.
they don't look different at all.
That's better than I thought it would be.
They tie in.
How many different things were there?
I walked out on chapter 5.
Okay,
I think there's only 5 from what I read.
is it like a regular 90-minute joint?
I don't remember. I think it's like just over 90.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go over the red flags.
Yeah, tell me
that we
where I
saw.
fucked up.
Okay. First of all,
Yeah.
and this is like personal wicked wisdom
Yes.
that I have gained from as a veteran of the psychic wars. Anthology is such a fucking red flag because again, it's Creepshow 1 and 2,
Yeah.
Trick or Treat. Anyone?
Tales from the Hood.
Okay.
Yeah, Tales from the
Fair
Hood.
enough.
Tales from the Hood. It's like first VHS, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Dylan, you got something?
I'm trying to remember that Snoop Dogg one.
It's not a deep bench. And so yeah, in the world of like, no, I'm not talking like you're. So Tubi movies have gotten a bad rap because it's like,
Yeah.
or they people just will call anything a Tubi movie, but like the real like shot on camera, like
Yeah.
lowest of the low, right? Those are still people that got 90 minutes together. If it's an anthology, that means it's people who didn't get that together. So whatever your Karis Hells, your Shark blanks, they're all at least full-length feature films. So if you can't even get to that level, then
Yeah.
you package them all together and you call it an anthology. And that's where the like, what was that? Remember that Fast and Furious parody we were watching? But it wasn't a Fast and Furious parody?
Yeah.
Come up with the name, please.
Fuck.
Drag it out of the ether.
Something in period, wasn't it?
Period?
Something was like Furious was period and something else was fast.
Anyways.
Ass.
So it's just like whatever, like you just have to have the thinnest fucking veil of a concept to
Yeah.
string together, student films essentially. That's
This
kind of
was
what
insanely thin.
that's
Yeah.
what I thought this would be.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's number one. And number two is, that Camp Hideout movie we just watched, for instance, like multiple showings, multiple days.
Yeah.
That is in the theaters.
Yeah.
You miss it once, you got a chance to watch it again. So when it's like one off and off the beaten track, it's like, oh, so it's not even, they're not even putting like Camp Hideout money behind this.
Counterpoint, that's how they kicked off Terrifier 2, though, with the one-off showing.
Quadruple counterpoint, it was everywhere. They spread it out
Eventually.
more.
Yeah.
But pretty quickly though.
So you could have hope.
Yeah, but
But I
I
don't even know how the Regal app works. They
That too.
Because I just saw that they're putting
Good
the Talking Heads movies all over the place.
Right. And at first, and they did that. That's
That was
how
a
it
They
one-off.
do that a lot.
they trick you with. But even then, it's multiple days.
Yeah.
Like the what do you call it? The Bowie movie, the Moon Age Daydream.
Yeah.
For like a month, that was like, it's just an IMAX. You want to see this movie? Get your ass down to Mira Mesa.
Yeah.
Watch it at the big IMAX theater. Pay up, Bowie fans.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want to see it. So close a handful of times to going, and then eventually just didn't. By the time I gave up hope, boom, it was everywhere. Same with that Talking Heads movie. Right now, it's going to be,
Well, no, it's still an IMAX, sadly.
but still, it's
Well,
going to
yeah,
be.
it's every
It opened
day.
wide.
That
for a
shit's
while
gonna
now.
be everywhere. So yeah, that was my big like. Yeah, Brent, go watch this movie. Go watch this one on your own.
Well, you gotta. I try to stop, Brent.
He tried
I
so
was
hard.
like, don't watch this. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Hubris and man's greed, like Icarus on his wings, he flew to the sun,
Yeah.
only to go too close and be
Got
burned.
hard.
Was this one of those that's like, because they do that a lot with a lot of these crappy looking horror movies because it's actually like a Shutter movie or
Right,
something
right.
like that.
This is
This
Dread
is-
Studios,
Yeah, it's Dread.
but I don't know what Dread means. Is that an app?
Yeah, I
Or is
thought
it
It
just a
was.
company?
Yeah, Dread Central. Dude, I'm amazed that it's still around. I remember it was like a thing.
So it's like a rival
Streaming?
to it's a streaming app.
I don't know.
Studios.
I know it was a website for a while. I didn't
A
really
rival
fuck with
to-
it. I'll be honest with you. I
okay.
didn't.
Yeah,
really
yeah,
fuck with it,
Well, anyways, they're making movies. Good to know. Yeah, I hate to shit on these movies because it's like, it's on one way,
too.
it's like so cool to, I don't care how shitty it is. It's nice to see if they get out into the theaters, but it's also creates this problem where it's like you paid to go see it in the theater and there's kind of a, I don't know, trust issue where it's like, it's going to be a theater movie, right?
That's part of what's killing movies because, like, you know, like I said, this was half the amount of a Regal Unlimited pass. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like it messed me up, and it broke the seal on walking out of movies now because, like, you know, like 2 days later, I'm walking out of Camp Hideout.
Yeah,
I'm like,
see, this is a slippery slope. That's
Yep.
why you hunker down. We got all the way to the end of Camp Hideout, and we saw that you have to go to church with Corbin Bleu from High School Musical. So we learned a valuable lesson because of it.
yeah.
Dylan was fucking with you over that movie. I was
Oh, I knew that. I knew that.
like, if Brett side texts me, I'll put him straight. But I'm not gonna fuck up Brett Dylan.
No, I mean, I
telling
know
him,
that-
dude, you should go watch.
No, that's like that's his
movie.
gimmick. So like I knew that. You know what I mean?
I think he was like, oh, you're gonna fucking not listen to me about Satanic Hispanics.
No.
Oh, I didn't say that. I just thought it'd be funny to say you should watch Camp Hideout. I didn't know the percentage of you actually watching it. I was like, let's see if I can push it over the edge here.
I didn't know that it was going to be like a 10% Jesus movie.
Yeah, yeah,
That was the
yeah.
only thing. But
Well,
it's just like
it is not the only thing, Brent. That's not nearly the only thing about that movie.
that's one of the issues to take with
No,
it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, Satanic Hispanics, are you going to sacrifice this on the altar, or are you going to get an exorcism to cleanse
So they're both
yourself?
bad?
Oh. I can't even rate it because it's a DNF. Did not
yeah.
finish. Yeah.
It's I for incomplete.
Yep.
Okay.
I failed that one.
NA.
Yep.
What do we got next week?
Unlimited.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited. Next week we got the Expendables 4, or Expendables, as the poster says. The team is back with some explosive action, and I'm actually really excited for this one. Then we got It Lives Inside, the new horror movie coming out that's setting us up for the season. And we also have My Sailor, My Love, a movie based in Ireland about some old people, and that's all I know about it. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, everyone, see you next week. Bye.